Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Brought to you by Central Bank of the Ozarks, the Bank of Billings, Chevy dealers of the Ozarks, your shelter insurance agents, Doak Propane, the Bank of Billings, and as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol, along with Labor's Local 663. Remind us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Going to go about 80 miles due north of the studio here at the Missouri Sports Network and visit with Travis Fleming, the head Lady Bulldogs coach of the Leeton Lady Bulldogs. And coach, off to a 14-1 start, coming out of a second place finish a year ago. Sounds like you're having a great season.
We have had a great start to the year. I mean, the kids have we had brought a strong group back, add some additional kids into some roles to make us a little bit deeper. But the kids have worked hard, and we've had a tremendous start to the season.
As you come out of that season from a year ago, you go 23-5. You're runner up in the state of Missouri. What off of that team? What did you have to come in? What did you have to replace? I know you had two All-State players returning. Off of last year's team. But what else did you? What did you lose to graduation that you had to replace?
Well, last year, I mean, it sounds like coach speak, but really we had 9 return. We had 10 players on the roster last year. We lost one, which was Heather French, a big post player for us, 6 foot tall. She was a kid who hadn't played her sophomore and junior year, came back out her senior year. Actually had some teachers at the school help convince her to come back out. So that was a real blessing to have some support from the teachers. But what we lost with Heather is just maturity. Just her leadership. I mean, she was not a kid. She was a tough matchup for people who played us man to man, or we could work around her. She almost required a double team. And so, but really just her approach to the game and approach to life. She was a no nonsense, just take everything at face value and appreciate your opportunities. And so coming from a kid who had not played for a couple years to come back in with that mindset, she was just a calming factor for the group. We've kind of attacked that, with the returning players. When you return your top 7 kids who have Final Four experience, you force early. The Skyline tournament was a load for us, which we went to overtime and consecutive games. And then we have been able to get some strong performances in some games that we lost, the year before.
As you look at your returners, you've got two All-State kids coming back, Bailey Fleming, who I believe is a junior, and then also returning Reagan Schaefer, who I think is a senior this year. Talk about those players and what they do that's special for you, and some of the other kids maybe that have stepped up this year.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt Bailey and Reagan both play a big role to what we do. I mean, Reagan is can be a tough matchup. She can score inside and outside. It's pretty amazing to me. We joke with her all the time that everybody's scouting report, close out slow, make her shoot the jumper before you let her drive. She shoots like 64% from the floor, and we laugh because most of those are within 3 foot of the basket. But she has a natural ability to just find her way to the rim. And then if she misses it, she's right there to put the thing back up in and get a rebound and pad her stats just a little bit. But Reagan is a leader. She guards post, guards. She's just a great leader for us in both sides of that. Bailey's a big scorer, shoots the ball well. She's probably the first name that gets circled on most of our opponents' scouting reports. They want to stick to her. They don't want to give her any open looks. But really the growth and the success that we've had compared to last year to this year to the point is really the development of the other kids, Rowan Schmidley, Jordan Crooks, Jaden Johnson, Haley Bingaman, Chesney Early. Those kids, predominantly those next three starters, they've all, we're at Reagan's about 14 a game, Bailey's somewhere around 11, 12 a game. And then the other 3 they're all right at 10 points a game. So put 5 kids on the floor that can score. Rowan she's shooting the 3-point ball greater than 40% right now. And Jordan and Jaden have both just proven that people have to guard them. Where in years, maybe last year people were just going to cheat in the paint, not step out, not guard, which has made some more opportunities for Bailey and Reagan. But really, we've cashed in with a total team approach.
Again, we are visiting with Leeton Lady Bulldog head coach Travis Fleming. And Coach, kind of handicap your conference that you are in. Tell us a little bit about the conference, the members, and handicap it a little bit.
Well, we are not in a conference. We are independent. So we used to be part of, I think it's the Golden Valley Conference, which used to consist of Montrose and Chehowee, Calhoun, Kingsville. I think that was it. But for the last 4, I think we left the conference the year after I took the head coaching position, primarily just due to the conference's inability to field junior high teams on a regular basis. So to be able to get out and go play independent, that was a choice that we have made. It can be rough when it comes to scheduling, trying to find opponents on our year in and year out that have conflicts with their conference opponents. But it's served us really well to be able to get schools like Skyline, Wellington, Tipton, those schools on our schedule that always existed outside of our conference, but we weren't able to get them on our schedule prior to that.
Now you're in a district, Class 1, District 9, and you mentioned Chilhowie already, Kingsville, northwest of Hughesville, Otterville, Sacred Heart are the members in that district. You get opportunities to see those teams throughout the season?
We have everybody on our schedule except, I believe, Northwest and Otterville. Otterville was on our schedule in the past, had some kind of a conflict with scheduling, and we don't have them or Northwest. They're in close proximity, obviously, to us, so there's good familiarity with both of those schools and what their programs are doing. Otterville's had a lot of success. That's who we played last year, actually, in our district championship ball game. And so if things stay the course, that sure looks like there'll be a rematch in the works again this year.
Hey, Coach, just a little bit about your background. How long have you been? You mentioned, I think, 4 years ago, taking over the helm there. Talk about kind of how long you've been there, how you ended up the coach there at Leeton.
This is, I think, my 7th season now at Leeton. Whenever I had coached previously, kind of on an as needed basis. I started in a big metropolis. This is like Leeton, like it's in Lamont, doing junior high. My uncle was a superintendent there. They needed somebody to coach. I was still in college. So I filled kind of an emergency role there for the boys and girls junior high program. Followed that with a volunteer move over to Chehowee. Did that for 3 or 4 years. The coach left. They asked me to stay. I had a really good run there of some talented kids. Had a Final Four appearance there. Left. Thought I wanted to be an educator full time. Got talked out of that pretty easy by somebody saying, "Hey, why don't you come coach at Holden?" So I did that, and then my family just became more than I could handle working full time outside of the school coaching. Took some time off. Ended up moving into the Leeton district. Started the youth program, 1st and 2nd grade, 3rd and 4th, and then an opportunity presented itself, and they said, "Hey, we want you to." The administrator who was the coach took a different job. And they said, "Hey, we have a need, a void has been created. Will you do it?" And that's always, kind of a loaded question. I've always enjoyed basketball. I love it, and so it didn't take much for me to say, "Yep, I will come back and do that." And then now to have the opportunity to coach my kids' friends, it's had some challenges, but I wouldn't ever go back and say no.
Absolutely. Well, you guys 14-1 on the season. You've got a tournament coming up. Looks like the Query City Cougar Classic.
Yep.
Coming up. Who are the teams in there? Where are you guys seated, and what's expectations?
We won that tournament last year. It is just up the road for us, so it's hosted in Crest Ridge. And then the 2 seed this year is Holden and Sherwood. We've already seen Sherwood a couple weeks ago. We saw them. Actually, on the 18th, we saw them. And so our opening round will be today. It'll be that 4:30. Nobody's in the gym except us and the other team and 3 or 4 people to clap upon occasion. So we'll start with Lexington today at 4:30. And then we'll come back and we'll get the winner of Concordia and Casey Lutheran. And then whoever comes out that other side with the 2 and 3 being not Skyline, good grief, being Concordia and Holden.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, I certainly appreciate you being generous with your time here today here at the Missouri Sports Network. I know you're in your office, but I appreciate taking time to visit with us here on the network.
Hey, no problem. Anytime we can, get a chance to send a shout out to the kids that work so hard, give them a little bit of the glory that comes back to them. And it really just comes back from their dedication to play for each other. And they've been a fun group. So I enjoy talking about them anytime I can.
Very good. Coach, thanks so much. You've been listening to and watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Keep it right here at Missouri Sports Network.
The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.